Hi guys, it's Miss Tidwell. Today I'm going to be introducing you to something called the catch annotation strategy. Annotation means taking notes in a book, and good readers should always be paying attention to key details while they read. Annotation is something that will help good readers pay better attention to key details while they're reading. So let me show you how you can better do that today. First off, I want to explain annotation means taking notes. Taking notes doesn't just mean highlighting or underlining. It means actively paying attention to and responding to the text you're reading. Using the catch annotation strategy, you can pay better attention to the things that you don't know and the things that you're really curious about and engaged in while you're reading. The catch acronym stands for Circle Words You Don't Know. That's the C. As you're reading, if there's a word you don't know, that could be a gap in your knowledge. So you want to pay attention and circle those words you don't know. Next, you want to ask questions. That's the A. There could be something that you're not sure about, or maybe something that you wonder. You can pose it as a question. You can start with a question mark and then write the words later if you want. But you want to be engaged in what you're reading and asking questions. The next part kind of relates to that. It's T, talk to the text. You want to write down your responses. If there's something that you notice, something that you feel really strongly about, you want to leave yourself a note. Otherwise, you're probably going to forget it. The more you take notes, the better you're going to remember the text, and the better you're probably going to understand it. Next is C, capture, the most important part. Now, this is something I'm going to be looking for when I review your packets. Did you try to hone in on the most important part of the text? You're going to identify the one part of the entire chapter that you thought was most important by putting a star next to it or putting a box around it. Finally, you're going to H highlight, if you happen to have a highlighter, or simply underline the parts that really jump out to you. You can do as many of these as you want. You don't want to overdo it. If you highlight everything, then what you think is important will kind of get watered down. So really try to focus in on things that kind of stand out, and then save your star or your box for your most important moment when you're looking back on the chapter. You can't really identify the most important part until you're done, but you can highlight or underline details as you read through the text. To better help you understand the exact requirements for this assignment, I put this information on my website. It's all in one document. I've got these requirements, the rubric, and an example of the final copy, which I'll show you in just a moment. But I broke down the acronym. I re-explained which each letter stands for, and again, this is on my website. And down below, I've listed how many of each you need to have for your entire Chapter 4 packet, which you will receive. For C, circle words you don't know, I expect you to do every word like that. For each page, each physical paper copy page, I expect you to at least ask one question and write 2 comments. You're only going to identify one most important part when you're done reading the chapter. And I expect you to put 2 underlined key details for each physical page. Here's the rubric. I'm not going to go into too much detail right here. But if you want to have a really, really detailed understanding of what is expected of you for this assignment and how to get an A, again, this is on my website on the page for Coraline Chapter 4. Catch strategy. So if you want to look at this information, it's there for you. Okay, so now I'm going to show you an example that I took. I took a screenshot of the PDF that's available on Schoology, and I went ahead and annotated it. I don't recommend you using your iPad for this because you can't really shrink down the text to get as small as I did, and that's why I gave you a physical copy to annotate. So you're going to be using a pencil or a pen, so don't worry about using color, okay? Okay, so let's re-examine the elements of catch. First off is C, right? You want to circle words you don't know. Let's say I'm reading through this, and I'm going to read the left column and then the right column. Say I don't know thimble, or I don't know the word dayglow and dayglow greens, or mantelpiece. I'm going to circle those And again, you don't need to worry about color, but any words that you don't know, go ahead and circle them. You don't have to look them up, just circle them. Next is A. You're going to ask questions. So don't wear green in your dressing room. Is this a superstition, I wonder, of like the theater company? Right next to it is an example of T, talk to the text. I'm making a comment. I happen to notice that this mention of the Scottish play is a reference to Macbeth, so I went ahead and made that comment. Over here, I've made another comment. Remember, I expect you to make two. I underlined it and I said, I wonder if she's gonna change her mind. You know, if she's so bold about not thinking that, danger sounds like a bad thing. I'm wondering. I'm talking to the text, I'm engaging in it. Throughout the document, you can see that I underline things. I put a little asterisk next to it as well, to show the points where I thought that was really important. That's the H, highlight and underline. Things that really stick out to you. There's no right or wrong answer. And again, you don't want to overuse it, but what stood out to you? And again, finally, like you can only really figure this out once you've read the whole chapter, but what was the most important part? You guys are going to be reading chapter 4 in your packets. What was the most important part of chapter 4? That's what I'm really going to be looking for. To better understand these requirements, please go to Miss Tidwell's website and look at this. You're welcome to watch this video as many times as you please. Happy reading, happy writing, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.